What's up, y'all? Welcome in tonight to Tuesday Takeover. So glad that you're here hanging out with us tonight. If you are here on YouTube or Facebook, hit the like, hit the heart button. Let me know that you're here. Drop a comment, say hey. Start a watch party if you're on Facebook. That way your friends who may not be affiliated with the page, they can see it and watch with us. We're not going to be long tonight. Just want to kind of put a bookend on Easter week for us, and I get to teach on the church's live stream this Sunday, so I'm super excited about that. Tune in at 11 o'clock on Sunday. But tonight, just want to kind of put an end on Easter week and kind of what it means to us. We heard of Jesus' road to the cross and his death and crucifixion and burial and the joy we have in the resurrection. We got so many awesome teachings this past Sunday of the resurrection of Jesus, and it was just all over social media. People around the world, around this country, heard the gospel this Sunday. And I was fortunate enough as a teacher, I was fortunate enough to see some of my fellow teachers and pastors that I don't always get to see. I get to hear them preach now, so I probably listened to 10 or 15 messages this past weekend, and it was an awesome time. And it's just it's an encouraging time right now that people are getting to hear the gospel, even in these dire situations that we feel like we're in. But tonight, I just want to encourage you with this, and it's kind of the end of the Easter week, and yesterday was Easter Monday, but that's not the end of the story. It's not the last thing that Jesus did. You know, he rose from the dead and he gave us victory, but it wasn't the last thing he did. And we're going to read tonight one of the last things that he did, and it was commission us to do something for him. And it's very important, and it's something that while I think the Easter story is the Easter season is the most important time of year, it is just the most unbelievable opportunity every year to bring to the forefront of people's minds the resurrection of Jesus as we celebrate that. And the Great Commission should always, to me, be what follows, and it's what we're to do in response to what Jesus did. After we choose to believe in him, well, now we have a job. Now we have something that we are called and asked to do. And I'm going to read that to you tonight. We're going to be in the book of Matthew. We're going to be at the very end of Matthew chapter 28. I'm going to read a couple of verses to you tonight. Starting in verse 16. It says, "The 11 disciples traveled to Galilee to the mountain where Jesus had directed them. When they saw him, they worshiped, but some doubted. Jesus came near them and said, 'All authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. Go, therefore,'" this is for us, "'make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe everything I have commanded you. And remember, I am with you always to the end of the age.'" Now, he gave this command directly to the disciples that were there with him. But this is commission to us. This is to believers. This is what we're called to do. After we have met Jesus, you choose to believe in him, you choose to start this walk with him. Well, now you're commissioned to tell others about Jesus. And that's what we want to do. We want to encourage you. And that's what this Sunday's message, we're going to be talking a little bit about apologetics. And we're going to prove some things about the Bible to some people. Some people may have heard the gospel for the first time in a long time, and it's got them intrigued. And they've got some questions and things. And if nothing else, I'm going to give them more questions, because I think the more questions you have, if you really want to get those answers, you can find those answers, and God will reveal some awesome things about himself to you. So this Sunday, we're going to talk about some way that the Bible proves itself to us and things like that. But our number one commission is to tell other people about the good news of Jesus. And Easter this past Sunday was incredible for that. We reached more people this past Sunday than I think we may ever have. And that's it's a heartwarming and an awesome feeling knowing that we had such an outreach. And I can't wait to get back to church. I can't wait to get back to our normal. I can't wait to see people and high five and hug and fist bump and see all of your faces back on Sunday nights in the gym and just shooting ball and hanging out. I can't wait for all of those things. But right now, in the place that God has put us, we're behind screens and cameras and microphones and our phones and tablets, and that's our lines of communication. And we get to be real intentional about the things that we put out, the content we put out, things we say, more so than maybe ever. But it's not just on the teachers and the preachers. It's on you guys, how you respond on social media to each other, how people see you and perceive you is a big credit to your testimony. And I want you guys to think about that when you're posting things. Everything that you do right now is part of your testimony, and it's part of this thing that God has challenged us with, this great commission to go and make disciples for Him. So everything that we do, we want to keep that on the forefronts of our minds. Like I said, I love you guys. I miss you guys. And I'm so thankful for this past week and everything that we got to do, and all the ones that got to hear the gospel message. But the gospel message isn't where it ends. Now it's time to get to work. I want you to be in the Word. I encourage you this week to read something, start a Bible study. Just want you to tune in on Sunday to get some apologetics. And what we want for you is to be able to share your faith confidently, share your faith to your friends, and for the most important reason is when you guys leave this nest that we've created in our churches for, you guys coming up through grade school and things like that. When you leave the nest and you go to college and you go different places, when people who didn't align themselves with our faith ask us tough questions, well, we want to have an answer for those people. And if we don't have an answer, we don't want our faith to be built on a house of cards so thin that just the smallest questions or the smallest critiques can send it tumbling down. And we got to start building those foundations now. For a lot of people who's going to be tuning in on Sunday, I hope that they got intrigued with questions that they hadn't thought of since maybe they were your age this past week here in Easter messages. And I hope that God's working in hearts and minds, and those people tune in this week and we can give them another opportunity just to hear some awesome things about God and the things in His Word, and just how we can encourage you to get closer to God through His Word, so we can fulfill this great commission, so we can be confident when we go and tell others about Jesus. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I love you guys. I miss you guys. If you got any questions, drop them in the comment sections. Shoot me a message on Facebook, Instagram. If you need anything, I don't know all your situations, but anybody watching this, if you need anything, reach out. Love you guys, here for you, and can't wait till we're back together. But we'll see you next time right here, Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock. Love you guys.